Well, hello, and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me this morning is the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hey, Ronnie, what's going on?
Well, hello, how are you?
I am doing just fabulous. I'm actually here in Dallas, Texas today because I'm at a board game convention. I'm nerding out. I went from BravoCon to BGGCon, and so I'm actually just telling you all that in case my video or my Wi-Fi gets janky. I apologize. I am on good old-fashioned hotel Wi-Fi at the moment. But anyway, speaking of video, if you want to watch us, not just listen to us, go check out patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. You can access Crappens on demand. That's our videos. We also have our bonus episode. Right after this, we are going to do a trailer trash on the new Real Housewives of Rhode Island trailer that launched last weekend. So get excited for a lot of Dolores doppelgangers, because that's pretty much what that one's all about. And aside from that, we got coming up, we got Amazon Live on Monday. Everyone tune in for that because it's ahead of Black Friday. So we know you're going to want to get your deals, okay? And that's basically it from me. What's going on with you, Ronnie?
Just ready to rumble with some Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yay, fun times.
Interesting choice by this show to just ignore Gretchen's shit and blame it all on Tamra. I'm really surprised, especially with Heather Dubrow, who has, obviously LGBTQ plus children and is always making a stand and, always has a Trevor Project scene. And Heather is very much like, well, you're nice to me and my family. Who cares? Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? So I'm actually pretty surprised by that. I didn't buy 1 second of that horse shit. So I guess I'd like to start this recap off by saying, fuck you, Gretchen. And fuck you, Bravo, for doing this. This is pretty crazy. I mean, they're really just going to gaslight everybody, I guess. These posts were not something that were made up and were photoshopped and put there. And everybody acting like, oh, wow, what? Well, we couldn't find the likes. You know you can unlike shit, right? You dummies. Yeah. This has been out since 2023. I mean, and that's the compilation. It's been out a lot longer than that people have been talking about this. So it's pretty crazy that they all know that this was real, and they're all just going to pretend that it wasn't. For what? To keep Gretchen? Did Gretchen bring something that I didn't realize? So that's my opening thoughts.
Wow.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild. And then segueing into the second half when they all just started piling on Tamra, that was the funniest thing to me. I was cracking up because, I don't know, Tamra just seems so caught. She seems so caught. And, this is aside from the fact that, why are we deflecting onto Tamra in the first place? We shouldn't be. But the way she just got to be like, baby, Slade, obviously Slade did obvious, it was Slade. I mean, I play it a lot. Look, I'm at a board game convention, and there's a lot of these social deduction games like the Traders and everything that we play. And here's how I know that Tamra is caught. Because she's acting like me every time I'm a secret bad guy in Mafia or something. Every time I'm caught, she's doing the exact same Ben Mandelker techniques. Be like, but what about this person? What about Slade? I literally, by the way, and yes, anytime I play Mafia, I blame Slade Smiley. I'm like, it's not me, it's Slade Smiley. I'm innocent here. Slade Smiley's bad. People are like, who's Slade Smiley? But I was just laughing so much at Tamra. She was so funny to me this entire episode because she was like, the tears come on cue, but also the way she just screamed at Emily, which was hilarious. She's like, why are you an asshole all the time? I just cracked up. So as much as
it was a good episode. Yeah, there was a lot of darkness here and a lot of toxicity, but the deflecting was fun because it's been the whole season, right?
Yeah.
It started with Tamra deflecting all of the naked wasted stuff, which she thought she would be called out on, by turning it into, well, Gretchen said that I, gave her a date rape truck. So it started with a very good deflection, and it's ending in, you know what? I don't even think it's a deflection. I think Tamara's right. I think it's pretty obviously Slade. I mean, in the final episode of the season, when Gretchen is crying to Slade, he's like, oh, really? Well, I'm going to call the bloggers and I'm going to get on this and we'll get Tamara back. And then immediately they all get a phone call. He said something along the lines of oh, yeah, we're going to figure this out. We're going to get Tamara. something like that. And then this happens, and now they all deleted the DM. Like, we don't even know who the DM was from because we just read it and then he deleted it on his end. So we never really even saw who it was. You fucking liars. You are such liars. All three of you who are well versed by now in Instagram and bloggers and getting gossip and trafficking and gossip. None of you wrote down that name of who was sending you the DM. You're full of it.
I mean, I will say, Tamara's strongest point is that she's been on the show for years and years, and this is the only season where it's gotten like it's been a real issue like this with outside media. Although the funny part is that like the whole crux of the central controversy of the season is that she was talking to basically a reporter of good standing. So like there's clearly outreach that happens. But I mean, I would love to say that it's Slade, because I can't stand Slade. And I believe that Slade is the type that would leak every single piece of information that he had. But they did seem to have some decent logic towards the end of the episode about, like Slade wouldn't know this information that was leaked.
Of course he would. But of course he would know, because they just shot the scene. So everybody who was at the finale would know all of this information. It's silly. And Emily's saying, well, how would I know? You just said that you talked about Tamara. You talked about these tweets with Tamara, or all these likes with Tamara and Gina 2 weeks ago. And now you're saying there's no other person that knew except Gina and you. Well, that's not true. You knew Emily. So and whoever you two big mouths talked to.
So the hypothesis is that they are saying only Tamara and Gina knew that they had that conversation in that store, and also, of course, the entire production staff, by the way, who filmed the entire thing. Why is Emily. Why is production never considered one of the leaks ever? Like, to me, it's always so obvious that like it's like there could be just some messy person on production.
Alex Baskin. It's the same with LVP. It doesn't even have to be that. My God, who leaked this to the? Who could it be? Oh, really? Well, might be. Alexia Baskin. I
mean, it doesn't even have to be. It's fun to think that it goes that high. It doesn't even have to be that high. It just could be like a messy field producer who's, and we've met a good number of them in our lives, So it could just be that.
And we've also met a ton of housewives, and guess what? They leak shit all the time, or they try to, they all talk. So it's also not beyond any reason that Tamara did leak stuff, but it's not beyond reason that all of them did. And I don't remember a lot of stuff coming out about this season anyway. There weren't like huge leaks that were like, guess what happens in episode 3? Nothing like that even happened this season. The biggest thing that happened was this Tamara Gretchen thing. I didn't hear about the date rape drug accusations or any of that stuff.
I didn't hear about that.
On. Did you?
No, I didn't hear about that.
That was the biggest thing from the season.
I heard that Katie stopped filming with the cast. I heard that there was allegations that Katie did something illegal, which is, I think, the Shannon video. That's illegal. And I heard she didn't go on the cast trip. I heard things like that. I heard that Tamara had quit. I heard that she was back. So I heard things like that. In fact, I think a lot of us were really excited for the season because there was so much stuff that was coming out ahead of time. But the stuff that they're specifically talking that this, FBI witness, muffled voice person is talking about, like, I heard. It's Chris Samuels. It's just Chris Samuels.
We really needed the shadow, them in the shadows.
Like, all that stuff I had not heard ahead of time. So, I mean, I don't know. We obviously don't know who the leak is, but I just felt like Tamara, whether she was the leak or not, she reminded me so much of how badly I play these social deduction games. I'm like, she's lucky she didn't make it farther into the traders and like was a trader, because she was spiraling in that front chair, and she was like, her head was going like left and right, and she's like, but I was Slade. And then like when everyone stopped listening to her, she finally starts crying to Andy. The stuff with Gretchen was dark. But I have to say, like, to me, the episode was saved by the hilarity of this, like, wild goose chase they all were on over this stupid leaking situation.
Because ultimately, I think the good thing about it, it is one situation where I believe Tamara, of all people, which made me feel extremely uncomfortable because I never agree with Tamara on shit. But I thought what was super entertaining about it was that they beat Tamara at their own game. And I thought that was pretty wild, that I do believe 100% this is Slade. But It's also Slade beating Tamra, which is crazy. I never thought I'd see that happen. You know, someone who gets just as down and dirty with Tamra and beat her at her own game in the finale. And of course, it helps that he had the help of the cast, because the cast was like, fuck Tamra. I mean, Tamra's quit how many times this season? She's been a huge pain in the ass to production and cast. They're all so sick of her. You can tell. I mean, they're all saying how sick. They're like, oh, God, did she quit again? Jeez. And now we're letting her back in. You know, that's been a huge part of the end of the season. So the fact that she got beat and the cast actually went and said, we're going to help Slade. We all forgot who we got this DM from. We all are just going to believe all of this horse shit. We're all going to pretend that we didn't see these tweets or know that these likes were going on the whole time. That means the whole cast decided to team up and get rid of Tamra. And I thought it was pretty funny because Tamra has been using these tactics for years, and they got her. They got her.
No, I also think that
you got credit where credit's due.
Tamra is such like an elite villain in the world of Bravo that she actually doesn't really even need to go to the blogs to get her to get her way. She just manipulates so well, and she doesn't have to do these tactics, and she never has had to do them. So that definitely like moves the needle more towards Slade. But I just felt like her behavior at the reunion just felt so guilty. So that moves the needle back for me. I guess we'll never know, and I'm sure she'll be like, "It wasn't me." And you know what? The ambiguity is part of the fun of it. But it is hilarious that Gretchen did the truly like the of the offenses of leaking to quote unquote bloggers, which of course there are no bloggers involved, versus liking homophobic, transphobic tweets. Like Gretchen's transgression is the worst. And it's offensive, and it's like really terrible, and yet it's Tamra's that seems to be the thing that they really do all the roasting for. So that's so Real Housewives.
Wow, transgression really works.
I know, and it's also ironic
on so many levels.
She had a transgression, but a transgression implies that like she wouldn't do that, but she had a transgression. And the sad thing is, I think that she would like those things, but she was caught.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into it tonight. The reunion concludes. So welcome back, everybody. From exotic locales such as Amsterdam to New Orleans, Heather Dubrow's penthouse, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this first thing is just fun. We're doing mushrooms. Heather Dubrow is a cool mom. And she does mushrooms whenever she can. I mean, the kids are gone, so why not?
Can I say something? You know what image I think is most emblazoned into my brain from last weekend at BravoCon? When we were backstage before our panel, we got to go into the big the backstage holding area, which is where they pretty much kept all the Bravo celebrities during the convention. It was like the size of a massive lunchroom. And in fact, there was just tables. It was just this big, long room. Big room. And there were all these tables, truly like lunch tables. But there was this big aisle, and you had to walk all the way down that aisle to get to the buffet. And we were walking up that aisle, and I don't know if you saw this, Ronnie. Maybe you weren't with me. But Heather Dubrow came strutting down that aisle like it was Paris Fashion Week. And she came right at us. And I think we were like talking with someone, because I would have said hi, of course. I would have been like, Heather Dubrow, lady of comedy. But I couldn't. But did you see her, the way she walked? She strutted down that aisle like it was a runway. That was honestly one of the funniest images. And that's just what I think of, is her with her shoulders going back and forth like, you better work. Work it, girl. Television's Heather Dubrow.
I may or may not be on mushrooms.
Cool, mom.
No, I didn't see that because you tended to see the Bravo celebrities. I saw towards the end of the tunnel, which was cookies. That's all I saw. I was like, how many of those can I have? What are those made out of? I didn't really see anybody unless we literally tripped over them.
I know.
Because I was concentrating on whatever calories were surrounding me at the time.
Well, what was so alarming is, I too was looking at the cookies, and we finally got to the cookies, and then that's when Shane Simpson came right up to us, and it's like, Shane Simpson. He's saying hello to us. I'm just looking at the cookies.
Yeah. Okay, so we talk about how wacky everybody is with their space cakes and their mushrooms. Everybody's really cool, guys. And then we talk about how Katie didn't know she didn't know England was an island, or what the Mississippi River was. And so everybody admits that none of them know. And I admit that I'm not surprised. But I also probably wouldn't know either. I mean, I'm kind of a ding-dong with all that stuff. So does anyone still have their painted dick from Amsterdam? And Gretchen's like, no, I just have a broken dick, that's all. And Andy's like, wow, good one, Gretchen.
Hey, we give you a special.
It was actually the only sign that we had that Andy just wants her out of there, because the rest of the time he was like, all right, I'll toe the company line and rally behind Gretchen. But for this one, he just went, wow, good one, Gretchen, and kind of looked back at his cards.
Gretchen and Jerry O'Connell should do like a special together where Jerry O'Connell could be like, guys get their dicks broken, women break their face for facelifts. Am I right, everyone? God, men and women.
Women break their nails and men break their dicks.
Isn't that
That's
funny?
what you get. There's a straight guy opinion on housewives.
Whoa, isn't it crazy? I'm a straight guy, but I'm talking about women's stuff. Isn't that novel? Oh my God. All right. See you on the next episode.
So then we talk about Heather shooting the scene about her dad in front, pouring the ashes into the canal. Which I still find kind of odd. I mean, that's like, hey, Dad, you lived here. And then you pour his ashes into the gutter. Love you, Dad. But I guess it kind of fit.
Yeah.
Goodbye, cocksucker. So we talk about that and how touching it was and how many similarities she has with Emily once they really talked and realized, like, wow, her parents are both kind of monsters. And I don't know. I don't know what else they had in common, but
it's just so
we both
interesting.
have sandwiches in our purse. Just kidding. That's mace.
Normally, I use the mace on Emily Simpson and people of the servant class, but today we put the mace aside and bonded.
I usually use the mace on carbs. So I've got mace in my purse in case Emily decides to pull out any more tuna sandwiches.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So Andy's like, that's great. That's great. Okay, well, the season ended on a dark and dramatic note, to say the least. I want to start with the emotional final dinner in Amsterdam, where you all confronted Gretchen about her alleged, LOL, social media activity. All right, we're getting right into it, everyone. So now we're here at the Gretchen liking homophobic and transphobic tweets. So we see a whole clip of that. Gretchen, your immediate excuse about liking these posts is to say, hey, if I like something, I probably didn't know what it was about, and that you weren't paying attention to what you were liking. What do you mean by that? And are we supposed to believe this in 2025? Go on.
I mean, that many posts? You just liked that many homophobic transphobic posts, really? Accident, total accident. So she's like, well, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna say, this is not a defense of Gretchen. It might sound like it at first, but it's not. I have definitely been scrolling, and I'll see like a friend just post something, and I'll just like it. I won't really watch the whole video because I know they're happy with what they posted, and like it's like a, like look, it's their child like climbing on a thing, and I'll be I'm not gonna watch that, but I know it's like I want to support them. So I'm definitely blindly.
And then you realize later they're saying like, oh, that was my child. Thank God he's trampling over trans rights. Yes, go child. Oh my God, what did I just like on accident?
The child's like, oh, the gay should go to hell. And I'm like, but there is a difference, I think, between aimlessly sort of going to and just supporting versus when you see like an obvious meme that says stuff about that's anti-gay. Like that's not something you blindly scroll by. Okay, so you can't really use this scroll by excuse if you see giant text that's obviously about that. Like people what's on those screens there. You can't just act like you were just treating. You can't treat it the same way you treat content from your neighbor who's walking their dog down the street.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So she's like, well, I want to make it clear that there's absolutely no excuse for liking anything that has any sort of, like offensive sentiment. Okay, sentiment. And I also want to make it clear to every single one of you that I denounce anything that maybe seems homophobic or transphobic or anything like that, because I was just confused and I was shocked by what was being brought forward to me. Oh my God, it's not cinnamon, okay? It's sentiment.
But also,
just fire her for that. Can we just fire her for not being able to pronounce and pronouncing it eh?
She's seasoning her excuse with cinnamon.
Cinnamon. I wouldn't ever post something with bad cinnamon.
Also, by the way, I think one thing that we haven't discussed is why also has Gretchen not been prepared for this? Because the thread that is mentioned on this reunion quite a bit is a thread that came up in 2023. It has been forwarded to us umpteen times. I've seen it with my own eyes. You've seen it with your own eyes. It's really long and really huge. I don't believe that someone went and doctored all those images. I believe that they are real. And what I'm trying to say is someone surely has brought this thread to Gretchen's attention. And in fact, it's probably why she unfollowed all those things. So why was she oh, I'm surprised. Why are you so surprised when this is clearly going around the internet? It had to have been brought to her attention at some point. Like, hey, Gretchen, you're liking all this stuff and everyone's mad at you right now. What's your response to this? Like, someone had to say it. So she, like, in my mind, I'm thinking if you get confronted with this on the TV show, normally it'd be like, you know what, I saw that and I was appalled by that and I unliked all those things because I was disgusted at my own behavior and it made me realize, like, I gotta really, whatever excuse you're gonna give, like, how are you not ready with that? But I think that in her mind she was saying, oh God, I didn't think this was ever gonna be brought up on TV and how do I handle this?
She is ready for it. I don't know what you're talking about. She's extremely ready for it. She came with a plan. Well, but the plan was to act dumb and then blame Tamara for doctoring all these. to blame Tamara.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like,
she's
this
just
excuse,
like, what?
I'm saying her excuses.
I've scrolled around and maybe I liked a couple of things. Oh, so you accidentally liked, we teach gender ideology in school, or it's normal for half of preteen classrooms to be gender questioning, blah, blah, blah. You accidentally like something that says this is the trans influencer who went viral for flashing at the White House a couple of weeks ago about all this shit. You just accidentally like something on Matt Walsh blog that you follow and probably still follow. I mean, come on.
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, she's saying I was in such shock about these things. It's like, you can't give that excuse because, like, this is from 2023. Like, how could you can't say that you're in shock because it's been going around. I'm just saying that she gave it when she says, I was in such shock. The reason why I didn't have a quick answer is I was so surprised by everything. It's like, you were not surprised. This had to have come to your attention.
Because she's lying. She's a liar. So she does her whole things and her whole bullshit. And Andy's like, well, did you recognize any of the posts that you saw that Tamara showed you? And she's like, no. Mm-mm. And Tamara's like, well, which ones are we talking about? And Emily goes, the bleep one, which, I mean, that could have been any of them, really. And Tamara's like, but you followed the account, Dale. And she's like, well, I know that you said that I followed that account, but at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. And, I think we've all been guilty of scrolling mindlessly at night. And maybe I saw something and I liked it, not really looking at the content. Gretchen, it was like hundreds of, it's like multiple things, babe. It's not two things.
Yeah, that's like me being like, oh, well, it was late at night and I just, like, casually liked some, racist anti-black memes, but it was late at night. It was like, what? No, it doesn't work that way. And for the record, I did not do that.
So Heather's like, well, I get that. But when you have a good friend that's sitting across from the table from you, who's so emotional and so invested in this and really doesn't want this to be true. I mean, I get it. You were shocked. But what was surprising to me is that the girls had to say, go after Heather, follow Heather. Okay. So you're more upset that she didn't follow you to comfort you than you are at the post. Like, this is just, this whole episode is fucking mind boggling to me.
Yeah, it is. It is hilarious that's her takeaway, which is like, I had to walk away from the table. A celebrity who has been on Reba McEntire's show, bitch, and you still didn't follow me.
That you saw a celebrity walking away and you didn't even ask for their autograph.
If a celebrity falls in a forest in Amsterdam, does it still get people wanting autographs? A philosophical question for the ages.
If a celebrity falls down but nobody's there to hear it, were they a celebrity at all? Somebody check on Reba.
If a celebrity falls down and no one is there to hear it, does that mean that they are just Wendy Malick?
So Gretchen's like, but I was legitimately like, what? Wait, are they even serious about this? And also she seems completely benzoed out, right? She's like, yeah, I was like, are they even serious? Like, who's saying this? Because fundamentally, this is not what I believed or who I was, Cinnamon. And Tamara's like, wait, so you didn't know you were following all these hate accounts? Really? And Heather's like, I mean, there were just so many. And she's like, no, I didn't know. I didn't know
it wasn't just one. If it was just one, I would have rolled my eyes. But the way it was presented to me. Yeah, it was 200. Get her. Yes, 200. It's a lot. I mean, like, when it gets to be as many hate tweets as the number of auditions I have on a daily week, it's mind-boggling. That was a joke.
And Gretchen's like, yeah, well, no, I followed a lot. And Shannon's like, whoa, there were 200? There were 200 on that feed? Well, yeah, she unfollowed over 200 accounts when she got back from Amsterdam. Which also proves how stupid Gretchen is. Because, like you said, she had been kind of in trouble for this off camera for so long, and she didn't unfollow until she got home from Amsterdam. She's like, she didn't bother unfollowing until she was like, oh, I guess they're going to call me out on this on TV.
Yeah.
So Shannon's like, well, but how do you know they're all, that they're all hate accounts? Yes, I know. And Jen's like, but you know what? I'll tell you what, it taught me a lesson. You know what? I thought, wow, I really need to pay attention. I mean, who do I even follow? Yeah, I mean, I need to pay attention too. I had to make sure that I wasn't following someone with anti-Asian shit on their thing, but I didn't follow Jen, so I was safe.
I love how Jen's takeaway from every single season of Real Housewives of Orange County is, I realized looking back at the season, I just have to pay more attention, When I learned that I didn't have any money to my name, I just realized I got to pay more attention. When I realized that, like, Ryan had been sending dick pics to other girls, I just realized I got to pay more attention. Girl.
It's like the ultimate thing for Jen to say. Wow, you know what I learned? I really need to pay more attention. Thank you so much for your anti-trans posts. Thank you so much. You really taught me something. God, we all learned a lesson here today. Yeah. You know what? Let's all lift Gretchen up above our shoulders. Yeah. All I really want to do is learn in this life. Thank you, Gretchen.
Thank you, Gretchen.
So much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good old Jen, always learning.
I mean, listen, I gravely apologize if I liked something that was offensive or had offensive sentiment in it. But I will say that the one post that was brought forward, it was very upsetting to me. It was very suspect to me. And it doesn't align with who I am.
It's like, you are you, Gretchen.
I'm someone who doesn't believe in gay rights. I'm someone who believes in gay rights.
So Tamara's like, but then why would you follow people like that? All this guy does is post stuff like that. And she's like, well, right, but I took steps to go and look at who I was following because I had like 4,500 accounts or something I was following, So like maybe that's my mistake. I followed too many accounts and like maybe I didn't know what they were posting because, I follow left-wing accounts, I follow right-wing accounts. And like back in 2020 when the election was going on, that's why I followed those accounts. Yeah. That's when you followed like the,
there was
far right, like the extremely far right hateful accounts. Like how is that an excuse? It's like, well, it was political season. Listen, I was just hating on gays and trans people. It was the political season. What do you want from me?
I was just caught up in it. And he's like, well, it is a free country, by the way, and you can follow the right-wing accounts. You can follow whoever you want, and maybe you should follow the accounts at BravoTV.com. All right, I'll throw in that. Okay, so Gretchen, tell me more. So Gretchen's like,
True, and I will say it was a good lesson for me to learn. And so I went and I rectified it, and I went and I looked at a lot of accounts I was following, and I was like, I do not stand for this, and I am not going to follow accounts that have this type of rhetoric. And I don't know why I initially.
Rhetoric. Or do you say rhetoric too? Did I make you say rhetoric? Because
Yes, you did.
I've always pronounced it that way. That is my bad, and I'm sorry for brainwashing you.
well, I can just hide
ahead.
behind the fact that I was doing a Gretchen impersonation. It definitely was not Ben Mandler pronouncing it that way. Definitely not at all.
That's how I pronounce it.
Dude, you know what's really terrible? For some reason, somewhere in the past 3 years, I cannot stop saying apropos as apropos. And that's not correct. 100%. And I don't know where that came from.
That's good.
Apropos of nothing. However, apropos rhetoric. Oh no, I said rhetoric right. I
But
don't
this
know.
is the best part, and I interrupted you, so go for it.
Let me get a running start on what I was going to say because it's a really salient point. Okay, I'm not going to follow accounts that have this type of rhetoric. I don't know why initially I followed it, but maybe they had a post about God. Maybe they had a post about something.
Tamara's
I don't know. I can't tell you why because it's a lot of accounts, and the reason why I followed something and didn't follow something, I don't know. I'm just a girl.
I just follow things that say nice things about God. I don't know why people are upset with me. I was just following nice posts about God.
Oh, you're just such a fucking good person, Gretchen. I love it. I'm so sorry, guys. I liked all these hateful posts because I love God. So sorry. Sorry you misunderstood that.
Andy's like, all right, let me help you out because you seem to be just doing all the wrong things. By the way, if you're following 4,500 accounts, it stands to reason that you're not seeing what most of these accounts are posting on a daily basis. There you go. It's a freebie, Gretchen. Run with that.
What the fuck is this guy doing? This is so annoying. You know, this is really disappointing coming from him and Heather. Everybody else I could kind of understand, you know, because I don't doubt that they're not following a lot of these same accounts. But Andy and Heather are really killing me. Like, you know what, Andy, I get you're a host and I'm not expecting him to necessarily attack her and be like, you fucking homophobe. What the fuck were we thinking? Or anything like that. I'm not expecting that, okay? I'm not a crazy person. But at least don't stand there and help her out. Like, yeah, you probably didn't see him because you just follow so many accounts. Like, come on, sit down. Just sit this one out, please. Jesus, she doesn't need any more help.
Can I say something to you as long as Rondell Karam is acting like I am not an ally anymore? Can I say something that will absolutely not let Gretchen off the hook? I've known you a very long time. And all those times, you've never gotten a role on Malibu Country. So I think when you initially said that was a lie. But other than that, I think 14 years. You have never been anything but kind to me and my family. And I never believed that you were that kind of person. But I have people that I have had in my life for a very long time that I thought were that way and found out some very disturbing things that go against my family and my children specifically and everything I believe in, and that it has shattered me. And I will tell you that what I've heard over the years, rumblings of this kind of rhetoric from you in different communities that I've always chosen to ignore. But when I saw all those posts and saw that you liked them, this is what worries me, Gretchen Rossi. When you follow a multitude of hate mongers, what you are going to see in your page is hate.
Okay. I mean, nice monologue, but you basically just said, you just took a very long road to say, yeah, I've known for a long time you were like this, but you've always been nice to me. So stop liking shit so you don't get caught. That's what it sounds like to me. So Emily's like, well, she's saying like, you know, like ours, like dogs. That's what we get on ours because that's who we follow. Dog accounts.
Well, I'm saying this. Yours is, Emily, yours is animals. Gina, yours is Windex and other things that the maids need, etc., to clean my house. And I don't know. I'm assuming that Katie, I don't know what she sees, maybe just lies. And I see trips to Venice, etc. But Gretchen, you see hate. You see hate.
Well, my page is all fitness and possums falling in love and possums guarding trash cans and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, it shows what you follow. And Andy's like, well, mine's guys. I like twinks and housewives and like Diana Ross. It's pretty much the occasional Charo post. And Heather's like, yeah, I have cake decorating and folding. Okay.
And also, how to fire a butler. Oh, God, I love those videos.
I love the Heather follows folding videos.
I want to make fun of that, but I, too, have seen my fair share of folding videos because I'm such a bad folder. I really am. You know, I'm just...
You're a bad folder? Go ahead.
No, I don't have anything to add to it. I'm just a bad folder. Sorry.
You need to watch more videos. I have all of my staff watching them. And then I have videos of people trying to get past gates they don't have codes to and being electrocuted. It's hilarious.
Oh, you know what I love? I love those videos of a dad coming home from the military and surprising their child. And then their boss gives them bowls to bring to Nobu. So heartwarming.
But Heather, you've got to understand that was a small percentage of all the accounts I follow.
There were a lot of posts, ma'am. There were lots and lots of posts. And Tamara's like,
Well, the last few days you've been unlocking problematic posts, huh? Huh?
she goes,
No, I told you guys.
and Emily's like, wait, how do you know what she unlikes and likes? How does the internet work? You can see if people like things and if they unlike them. That's crazy. And Gretchen's like,
Yeah, that's word.
and Tamara's like,
Well, because I printed out 2 days ago all the posts that she still had likes on. And all but this one, making fun of Dylan about being on the Bud Light can. That's the only one that she's still liked by you, Gretchen.
wow, Gretchen still left that one up.
She
Still left that one up. That's the one that Heather probably hates the most because she's friends with Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, Gretchen's like, that's where she draws the line. She's like, I can't fake it anymore. I have to stand up for Bud Light. I cannot have Dylan Mulvaney drinking Bud Light. God forbid. Andy's like, okay.
Andy's like, but wait, isn't that a good thing? Like, shouldn't she have unliked them? I mean, wasn't that the right thing to do? Andy, you're fucking killing me here. The point is she's deleting them because it's the reunion and she doesn't want to be caught.
Right, not because she had a change of heart. And Shannon just turns to Gretchen. She's like, you didn't unlike the Dylan Mulvaney ones? What? She goes, no, I did. She goes, wait, did you unfollow or did you unlike? She goes, both. She was like, I can't follow this anymore. This is too complicated for me. Sorry. So Tamara's like,
oh, God.
So Tamara printed out all this stuff. And Andy's like, okay, well, so she just went through and she unfollowed a bunch of things. Well, I appreciate the accountability. And it was a good lesson for me, which is, if you have a reunion coming up, always unfollow the hate memes that you liked. That way you can like them again later.
What was the accountability, Heather? The whole I didn't mean to, and I just scrolled things that I had no idea what they were and liked hundreds of posts.
And these are deep fakes.
How is that accountability? It's this cat. They're losing their minds on this.
I will say,
I mean, listen, I'm not going to say that Housewives audiences are always the brightest, okay? But come on, are we really this stupid?
I will say, this is what it really strikes me as, in all honesty. It strikes me as Heather, I think, really likes Gretchen, and I think Heather is looking for mental workarounds so that way she can still be friends with Gretchen, because I think it's too devastating. I think it's almost like too devastating for her to face this. That's what I really think is what's going on with Heather, because I'm actually surprised too. I think it's really bad. I mean, it's your children here, and it's what you stand for. It's like you just did an event in WeHo during the season. You have Dylan on your show, and the fact that she's sort of like looking for mental workarounds, it's to me, it says that this is someone that she really, I think she's just having a really hard time reconciling the Gretchen that she thinks of, that she really adores, versus the Gretchen that is really sitting here. And I don't think she's really at a place yet where she's able to kind of like deal with that.
I think that's very giving and kind of you to think that. I obviously disagree. I think that she's doing this because she thinks this is too dark. And honestly, you're talking about a lot of people in the country that feel like Gretchen feel, right? Mm-hmm. So this is not something crazy that these posts that Gretchen liked, these are not something that all of us are unfamiliar with. We see it as gay people. We see it all the time. We've heard it our whole fucking lives. And now it's kind of in vogue again to have these kinds of hateful thoughts to the point where they're not even hateful at all. They're just normal. And now you're just expected to stand by and listen to this shit every fucking day of your life as the racist and the homophobe take over. And that's just how it is. Bigots are kind of taking over right now. They're very in fashion and they're all patting themselves on the back. And if you go against it, they will try and cancel your ass. And that's just how it is. And I think that Heather's not wanting to get into that. She doesn't want to have to listen. Half that Bravo audience at least is going to, I already saw a lot of the comments they were leaving on Heather's Instagram after the Amsterdam thing when they were blaming them all for getting on Heather. I'm sorry. They were blaming them all for going after Gretchen without finding out that these posts were true. Like, people are like, they weren't true. And you guys are going after Gretchen. You're being mean and and calling Heather's kids all sorts of names. And I think that she's like, I don't want to tangle with that side of the country right now. It's not worth it to me. And that is half our audience. And I don't want to hear it. And I think that that's where she's coming from. And I don't know that I really blame her.
I think it could be a mix.
It is pretty disappointing if you're going to make your whole storyline about standing up for what's right. And then you don't stand up for what's right because it's too hard, you know?
I think it could be a mix. I think there could be a genuine concern about that because it really is an issue. People are losing their jobs, you know, and they're losing a whole lot more because of bigots. Well, their rights, obviously, yes. But like for people just for saying certain things, you know, when there's like definitely like some bigoted mindset out there in the country. So it could be somewhat fear-based, but you know, I'm not saying this as an excuse, but like in terms of like how can someone be so strident about certain stances, but then seems to be kind of almost looking for, like when she says, well, at least you were accountable, it's like she's looking for a way that she can justify maintaining some sort of like friendly relationship with Gretchen. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think we all know we've all had people in our lives who are, you know, they are on different ends of the political spectrum and they do things that you're like, that's problematic to me, you know, but they stay in your lives because there's enough history and you feel like you know who they are as a person. And you know, like, you're like, on one hand, you're like, I should drop this person as a friend. I really should, because I'm actually like offended by them. But somehow they stay in your life in some weird way. And we all know it's like, you know, just family members sometimes that can happen. Luckily none of my immediate family members have that. I have no issue with that. And I think that that's what's happening with Gretchen, with Heather, is that she's trying to deal with the fact that she's had this long friendship with Gretchen, that she's really enjoyed it. And I think that like she's just trying to figure out a way. But I think for us as outsiders to their friendship, it's like, how could you stand for these things? How could you have an event in West Hollywood? How could you have these radio shows and you have these children that you advocate for? And that's all really wonderful that you do that. But how can you do that and sort of be oddly forgiving to Gretchen? And that's really a hard pill to swallow. It's
not even forgiving it. It's not even forgiving it because Gretchen's not apologizing for anything. She's just playing dumb and saying she never did any of that. And Heather knows that that's bullshit. She knows she is. She knows she's a huge Trumpy. She's posting online with her hats and her this and her that and her anti-vax shit and all of this. Heather knows exactly who that is. And as far as people, you know, that we deal with in our own lives, of course, I mean, I talk about it all the time. I come from a very religious, conservative family. I have these arguments all the time with people very close to me that I'm not dumping, but I am telling to fuck off every time we have those conversations. And I am trying to explain the other side to them. But when it comes to a friend, no, I'm not going to listen to this shit. Absolutely not. When it comes to my family, you don't choose your family, you make that work. But when it comes to friends and people I have in my life, there's absolutely no fucking way. And I think that a lot of this is just producer. I think production didn't want them to bring this stuff up in the first place. It's a huge can of worms. It's a huge mess, which they could have avoided by not bringing Gretchen back in the first place when you know all those posts are out there, you ding dongs. But instead, they're just going to pretend like, let's just whitewash this. Let's just get over it. And let's just turn this into a fun fight against Tamra. And I think it's disgusting. And Heather is a part of it. So sorry. She's just as bad in my eyes. And I hate saying it, but you know, that's what I see. So fuck her too.
I would have liked her to have been stronger against Gretchen. It was a little surprising that she was her vibe was more like, I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. And I would have liked her to be more like, Gretchen, I don't care what you say, you like these things, this is offensive to my family, and I really expected a lot more from you. And I felt like we didn't. I mean, we got that on the episode itself in Amsterdam, but it was surprising that she was sort of soft on Gretchen, I thought, as well.
Well, and Andy, too, coming up with excuses and being like, oh, no, but she did unfollow people. Isn't that the right thing to do? She's doing great, guys. It's a mind fuck watching this, honestly.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So Gretchen's like,
It was a lesson. I don't subscribe to it and I don't align with it.
you subscribe to all of them and you align with all of those accounts. So whatever. I would rather Gretchen just say, listen, these are my opinions and I'm sorry you don't like them, but I have a different political idea than all of you. And I think, my right is whatever the arguments are for the anti-trans stuff or the anti-gay stuff, the religious arguments against anti-gay stuff, all of this that we're seeing every day. Every one of us is seeing this every day. I wish she would just have stood up for it and said, this is what I think. And I'm sorry that you guys don't agree with it, but it's nothing personal against you. These are my beliefs. I still wouldn't agree with it. And I'd still be yelling and screaming and pissed off over here. But at least she would have some nuts. I mean, grow some heels. You know what I mean? Be a real fucking person. If that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. Just like I believe what I believe, and I'm ready for all the comments that are going to come at me and call me a reverse bigot and everything else that I hear whenever I go off like this from religious nuts. I'm willing to take it. So fucking take it. If you have an opinion, then be willing to stand up for your opinion, But this whole I'm going to do it and then just pretend I'm too stupid to understand what I did and I'm the real victim here because you guys are calling me out. I mean, that's what we're hearing all the time now. If you call out bigotry, we're the bigots. Because how dare you? Oh, I thought you were the accepting ones, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, but you don't accept my bigotry? That's exactly what we're seeing here. And to see the gay person and the person who supposedly supports gay people bending to that is just gross. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. It's so upsetting. Bring it back to Camille Grammer.
By the way, if you try to rob my house, I'm going to shoot you. That was in the headlines today. Mauricio threatening to kill people if they come to his.
Great. I'm glad that's like now, I guess, the discourse that's happening in public these days. I guess it's the top-down effect. So
just to lighten it up a little bit. Thanks, Mauricio.
Yeah. I actually also, I know we're trying to move on from this. I also do think that there is a part, like what you touched on it, which is that, like, probably Heather just wants to move forward with this. I think it's an uncomfortable situation for her that there's someone that is a friend of hers, but the friend is also hateful, and it's just like she doesn't want to, I think, deal with this right now on the reunion. It is more fun. It's more entertaining for the whole audience to talk about, like, grilling Tamra about, who leaked what, and so she's probably putting a nice little, like, well, at least you took accountability, showing that she's the reasonable one. And, like, let's move on. Also, there's this, like, I also do think that there is this pressure on us to, that people who are more lean left have been sort of put this label that we're like this totally irrational, left-leaning, mob who doesn't listen to reason, who doesn't listen to the other side. And that's always been our problem, is that we're in our ivory towers and we don't understand the real world. So there is this, like, pressure to be like, okay, I hear what you're saying. And I wonder if that is something that Heather is also catering to, which is like, you did something really hateful, and I will give you some. Okay, you took some accountability, so I will grant you that. But and so that's also frustrating that, like, we have to do that all the time because we've been accused of being totally. We've been accused of not listening to the other side, but the truth is, I think like if someone is saying, "Hey, like I'm gonna like this meme that goes out to 100,000 people that advocates for someone's rights to be taken away and advocates for someone to be viewed as lesser than, and then could lead to violence against a person, could lead to to be less safe for me to walk around on a street without getting punched in the face or even who knows what." Like, I think you're allowed to say that's offensive to me without having to worry about like, but I understand what you're saying. Like, I don't know why we have to couch things when it comes to like rights.
Yeah, well, that's what this whole fucking thing is. It's like, let's just ignore it. So Jen, now we get Jen's spin. Okay, Jen, who acts like the biggest dummy in the world, comes with her spin to help out Gretchen. So she's like, well, but the post came from somewhere, right? So if you're telling us it wasn't you, then where did it come from? And Tamara's like, wait, the posts were real. And Gretchen's like, wait, you mean the original post? And Jen's like, yeah. I mean, where did that come from? Huh? Go ahead. Blame Tamara. That's what I'm setting you up to do right now. And Gretchen's like,
Well, that is the question. So when I went home, I hired a cyber analysis company. And you, Heather, said to me, I need you to prove to me it's not true. So I did. I spent thousands of dollars.
you should have sent that to that mother who still needs the child support that Slate hasn't paid.
Getting a cyber analysis done on these posts, and you can see it's a 25-page report. The most egregious post is a fabricated fake post.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay, Gretchen. So what about the other 199 ones? Even if we believe you, which I don't for 1 second. And did they show which is the most egregious post? They didn't, right?
They didn't. But I am wondering, between the lie detector and this cyber analysis firm, I am wondering what's going on in Orange County with these these online experts. So Andy's like, well, it's important to note that at the time, he's reading it now, he's like, at the time of our initial investigation, the most egregious and offensive post did not exist anywhere online. Our system detected it may be a combination of AI and some other image editing software, and the software is called Technological and Malevolent Ratio Antagonism, also known as Tamara. Whoa, who would have thought?
We've been using software that's called, if you're gonna use me, at least give me a taco. Okay? And it found that these posts are fake.
And Tamara's like,
Wait, miss, did we even have AI 3 years ago? I mean, come on.
and Andy's like,
Okay, leading to the conclusion that it's a manufactured post and could not be authenticated.
Tamara's like,
Okay, well, it's probably a post that Instagram removed because it had the F word in there.
and so Gretchen's like,
Well, this third-party cyber analysis company continued to do a lot of research on a lot of accounts that unfortunately were tied to Tamara.
Was this third-party
okay.
cyber analysis company the Liberace Foundation by any chance?
Exactly. They continue to do a lot of research on a lot of accounts that unfortunately were tied to Tamara. So are you saying that Tamara was the honeypot? Like she was coming up with far right, horrible, like gay people or pedophiles. She was coming up with all these posts to like trick you into liking them so then she could use those later? Because you've already admitted that you had to go and follow 200 accounts and unlike all of these things. Like we've already got that into evidence, right? Where Gretchen has basically said, yeah, and Andy said she's doing the right thing by deleting all of these likes. But now you're saying that these posts are faked. So which is it?
Yeah,
were they faked posts or were you tricked into liking the posts? This makes no sense.
I wasn't really sure. I think she was trying to say like, no, I'm not the one who likes hate accounts. Actually, the hate accounts, it's Tamara who's actually connected to them. So Tamara's like, oh my God, I would sue you fucking ass. And Gina's like, what does that even mean? I feel bad. I can't follow. And Gretchen's like, okay, then sue my ass. No, I have nothing to do with this. Nothing. So Andy's like, well, how did you find that post? Like, how did you find this? And Tamara's like, it's been cycling around social media for a long time, bitch. And it really has. Like, Tamara is not lying about this. It is, I mean, again, the number of people that have sent it to us, it's staggering.
It's for years. It's been 4 years, and it hasn't only been during this season. It's been a long, long time that Gretchen's been doing this shit, and everybody knows it, including Andy, by the way. So what? Where'd this post come from? How'd you even find it? And Tamara's like, well, it's been cycling. It's been around. And Gretchen says it's not. And Shannon's like, well, you said it came from two teeth in a pod. No, she didn't. She said that it was a headline on Two T's, and it was a headline that iHeart sent them because it was going viral this season. But that post was from 2023. The one that compiled all of this stuff that they're talking about is from 2023.
Yeah, I think that also, I think the mentality is like, again, a lot of Bravo stars, a large chunk of them are conservative, right wing, and a lot of them have gone and liked problematic posts. I mean, Corey Kiefer was up there liking anti-trans posts a few years ago that we caught that, we flagged that. It's and so I think the mindset is like, okay, we're casting people on these shows. They're from all different backgrounds, and really these shows are to show how different people from different backgrounds interact in many ways. And that and the byproduct of that is that some of these people like really problematic things. And I think they're like, okay, that's that. But I think with Gretchen though, it was really like, it was a lot of it, and I think that the volume of it is what has been so shocking. It's just been,
Well, it's also not just liking
amount.
Republican things. It's liking hateful, very far-right things, right? Extremist things. Right. And I think also your point about a lot of these people, I mean, especially on Orange County. This is Orange County we're talking about.
Yeah.
These are the women of Orange County. So a lot of them, I think, are like, well, don't come after me. Like, shit, are they going to come through mine too? Especially you've got Emily up there.
Yeah.
You think she doesn't have a lot of Trumpy shit going on over there? She was reposting that, like, all those Save the Children, QAnon posts,
I mean,
a few years ago too. So it's like they could all be caught. So I think they're probably doing like, okay, let's have an emergency session here and just save us all from this.
yeah, I think between Orange County and Utah and New Jersey, Southern Charm. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of right wing, right leaning people on Bravo. McBee Dynasty, hello.
Yeah.
But so it's and the thing is that I don't think that either of us are offended by the mere presence of someone who's conservative or right wing. I mean, like it's like we're here to see people of different backgrounds. But I think it's the fact that Gretchen, She liked so many of these, as you said, far right wing things that were really hateful and are about depriving people of their rights just to exist as a human, and I forgot what the rest I was going to say, but I think you guys can know. I don't even have to explain why.
Well, there's a difference. There's a difference between having a disagreement with someone politically. So it's not like saying, "Oh, fuck all Republicans," blah blah blah. It's not that. I mean, people are going to have different. You're going to meet people in life with different points of view, and 100%. You have to fucking suck it up and be. You're still going to have to interact with people. It's not that. These are far right, hateful, bigoted posts. And if people are saying, well, you're just disagreeing with me politically, it's like, oh, okay, so that whole side now is completely racist and bigoted. I mean, okay, if you want to take that title, that's fine. But yeah, I think, it needs to be a distinction. It's not like we're not talking about tax policies here.
Right.
So anyway, so now they're arguing about where these posts came from. So Shannon's saying, you said it came from your podcast. And Tamara's like, well, let me finish. And Gretchen says, no, it was just one Twitter feed. And Tamara says, okay, well, 2 years ago, it came through to Teddy because it was tweeted. So Gretchen's like, wait, 2 years ago? And she goes, well, I don't know. I can look up on my phone if you want the exact date that she retweeted it. And she's like, no, but you said on that thing it was a year ago. Now you're saying 2 years ago. Oh, so you haven't seen the post either, Gretchen? It was posted in 2023, and it was a compilation of your posts that went back years and years.
Yeah.
Okay? So now they're trying to get her on the specific date Tamara first saw it to get her. And Gretchen's like, well, you were the only person that knew anything. No. And she's like, I wasn't the only person. It's been all over Reddit. It's been all over the entire internet.
Right. And Gretchen's like,
And Gina, I really like you, but it really was frustrating to me because I had someone call me and say that you and her were plotting and planning together. Oh yeah, I know. And but you saw what you saw, Gretchen, and the reality is she brought it up to me. I feel mad. Gina doesn't plot. And
Yeah,
so
right.
Tamara's
Gina and Emily saying, oh, yeah, we never plot. Okay. Then how do you explain having all of this information 2 weeks before you even brought it up? Isn't that a form of plotting?
Well, let me ask you this, Tamara. Why, after you made up with her several times, did you bring it up at the end?
Tamara's like,
Well, when did I bring it up, Andy? He's like, in Amsterdam. No, I didn't. I brought it up the night after her and stayed right after me.
which is true. Tamara told Gina this after that, like, country, whatever that thing was that they did, that event. And so she told Gina in Orange County, and then Gina just sat on it and decided to wait until the big trip, which is also pretty shitty of Gina. Let's also say, like, she's like, oh, I felt bad, and this is like weighing on me. I was like, really? So you waited until it was a group scene 2 weeks later. So, and also you waited until right after they made up. So now you're going to destroy their this friendship not friendship, but like this fragile truce that you claim that you want so badly.
Exactly.
But I don't plot.
So Andy's like, okay, but you said you resolved everything with her. And then you two, pointing to Tamara and Gina, had talked about bringing it up. And Heather's like, so why didn't you tell Gina to squash it? And Tamara's like,
Yeah, anytime I bring anything up, it's like, oh, God, here Tamara goes. Here she comes with some poison.
and Emily's like, but you did bring it up. And I'm saying what doesn't make sense to me is that you've had this for a long time. That is true. That's a good point. But it's also a good point that you knew for 2 weeks too, Emily. You knew as well as Gina, and you also didn't do anything. I think it does go to show that Tamara, has just been sitting on this and waiting until she could use it to her advantage.
This entire
But it
reunion
also shows that you
is
did too, Emily.
This is like that Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other, all the Spider-Man. They're all pointing like, but you. So Andy's like, okay, so you said you knew about it for 2 years. And Tamara's like,
Yeah, well, I found about it 2 fucking years ago, and I never thought about it again until recently when you came on the show.
and Cameron's like,
Oh, no, that's bullshit. Yeah, you want to figure out how to weaponize it against me and harm me and hurt me? That's what you did. You used it against me. You used me like a hate tweets against me.
so Tamara's like,
Then why did I bring it up the first day then, bitch? Because I don't know, Tamara.
well, I'll say why you didn't bring it up, which is because you didn't think you had to. That was the nuclear option, and you're like, I'm not going to do the nuclear option on the first day, right? Because we have a whole
that's
season,
Right. We need a finale. But I also think production was like, we're not bringing this up.
Well, no,
because everybody in production knew that this was going on. And I think they were like, we're bringing Gretchen back. We just want to bring her back for the old fun of fighting with Tamara. But we don't want to bring all this stuff onto the show. So don't do it. And now I think it makes them look all like assholes that they didn't bring it up. But they are kind of assholes for not bringing it up because this is crazy.
Well, I don't think that it was even supposed to be. I don't think that Tamara was like, I'm going to save this for the finale. I think that Tamara got to a breaking point because Tamara now has this narrative that Gretchen's been coming after her for 15 years. When the truth is, it was Tamara who was always going after Gretchen. But she was just, I think she was so fed up. And she just decided, you know what? I am doing the nuclear option. I don't care. But if I do the nuclear option, people won't really believe it. It won't have the same gravitas because I've used up all my credibility because I'm in this endless feud. So let me give it to some dum-dum to do it for me. Gina, get over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Gina is the person who would walk into the Oval Office and be like, oh my God, look at that nice red button. Oh my God, I just sent off a bunch of nuclear weapons. I feel bad.
I feel bad. The code, it turns out the code was I feel bad. All I had to do was enter that into the football. Sorry.
So Gina's like,
Well, I think she brought it up in retaliation. Tamara says, well, why is that changing that you're a homophobic bitch? I'm not. You know it. I just went to a gay bar this year.
Yes, you are. You are so gross.
Yeah, but when you say tied to Tamara, what does that mean, though? What does that mean that these tweets were tied to Tamara? Yeah, like she made it up. Is that what that means?
No, that's not what I said. There's a Twitter feed that Tamara happened to have on her phone that night, and she was like, look at this. And that Twitter feed, that was the only feed it was on. That has not been anywhere else but on your Twitter feed.
and she's like,
Gretchen, it's all over Reddit, bitch. It's all over Reddit. She goes, oh, well, now it is because you started putting it everywhere. It's like, no, that's a lie. You're a fucking lie. You're a fucking lie. You lie. She's like, do you know how many DMs that people have sent me that you're the one that's out putting that into the press?
girl. So now you
DMs
have
from Slade.
really, so you're getting a lot of stuff from bloggers saying that Tamara's the one telling them. Why are they communicating with you so much? Miss Lady who never talks to bloggers. And she's like, and do you know how many people are saying that? Oh my God, can someone just buy this woman a G? For Christ's sake.
I'd like to buy a consonant.
She can't even do it right.
She can't even wheel a fortune right.
She's like paying the wheel. It's like, you don't have to buy the consonants.
I'd like to anyway. She's like, I'd like to solve the puzzle. Trans people.
We're going to stop you right there. The first word is pants, not trans.
I would like to pay for G because that's the gay and the LGBTQ whatever, and I support them. I would like to donate money for a G.
Can I say one more thing to Gretchen? Because, I really want to say this to you. In hindsight, was this something that I felt I needed to bring up? Yeah, because it was something that was brought to me, and it was, a little disturbing to me. And I wish I had brought it up to you, not at, a dinner table. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel... I don't know. It's it's not so much remorse. It's not so much, sadness. It's I guess you could just say, I feel mad.
So now not only are they going to let her off, they're going to apologize to her.
I'm sorry. I embarrassed you.
If this isn't fucking dark enough. Yeah, I'm so sorry, I brought up your hate post at dinner. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that when you, liked all these things that advocated for the removal of rights for a segment of the population, that I approached it in a way that made you feel uncomfortable. I apologize.
Unbelievable. And Gina's like,
Yeah, I'm sorry for doing that at dinner. Aw. It's like, thank you. I appreciate it because I thought you and I had a good enough relationship that you could talk to me. And if you knew a couple weeks or maybe a month before, I wish you'd brought to me because I feel so blindsided and ambushed. And I'm sorry for that. You know why? Because I feel glad. Just kidding. It's Opposites Day. I feel bad. I feel bad.
Wait, did you mean glad? GLAAD? I don't even know what that means.
Hey everyone, this is the end of part 1 of this recap. For part 2, keep an eye on your podcast feed. It is coming up in just a moment. Thanks so much for listening. Catch you on the second half.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
It's always a party on Allison Block.
our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit. We never miss her call. It's Diane Call. Big yay, it's Emily Gauthier.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B. K Sarah, whatever will be, will Lauren Silsby. She gets an A from us, it's Lindsay D.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry. We love her on the rocks, it's Melissa Cox.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
Darn Skippy, it's Tippy.
And our super premium sponsors.
Make way for AJ Lopez.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Put us on a stretcher, it's Charlotte Fletcher.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. Hail the Cork Master, the Master of the Cork, Jennifer Corcoran. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She's a total knockout, it's Katie Manock.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. In the study with a candlestick, it's Leslie Peacock.
Gee, it's Lisa H.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes. It's Melissa St. Rose.
There's a chance of meatballs. It's Rebecca Cloud.
Maximum love for Sandy Maximoska.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
We cannot tell a lie. It's Sarah Tellefson.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Please don't stop, it's Soli and Pop. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
We're obsessed all with Tessa V.
You'll always get the full story with Tori Parsons.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Couture. We love you guys.